So I recorded the last video and went to go add my hand cam that I recorded because I recorded a little hand cam, as you can see. And apparently I set the camera up too high at an angle. So no hand cam in the last one. So we're gonna continue with our Super Dram World 3 playthrough onto level 2, which I have beaten before. This one significantly harder than the last level, which is not good considering, as you saw last time, how much I died on the first level. Speaking of the last video that I recorded, I was thinking about what I was talking about with Instagram Reels and you know, it killing the Let's Play off. And I made it sound, you know, very negative towards Instagram Reels. And, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Instagram Reels. I mean, I'll go on it occasionally. But I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a natural evolution of content just in general. Because I think we began with TV, or actually we began with movies, and the attention span, you needed a full, you know, 2 hours. You were locked in for 2 hours. Or 4 hours if you were watching Gone with the Wind. It started with the cinemas. Actually, it started further. It started with the old Shakespearean theater, the Greek theater, and like those were long. Those were I'm pretty sure those were, you had to be locked into the story. You had to be completely locked in for Macbeth. And then it was the movies, and the movies cut down the time a little. They were a little more, obviously you could edit it, and it wasn't in person, and so that kind of kept that was the impetus for the brain rot epidemic, was the talkie. And then it goes to TV shows, and TV shows are what, 11 minutes long, like Simpsons, maybe 22 minutes if you're stretching it. So we went from theater, we went from, you know, Roman Shakespearean theater to movies to TV shows, and then we went to, as we all know, the YouTube video, because they were like little 3-minute sketches, right? Because you had like Balloon Shop, and you had a Niga Higa, and you had Smosh, and those were like 3-4 minute sketches. And so then you get into the Let's Play, and the Let's Play's long, and the Let's Plays are usually 30 minutes long, but I feel like a lot of people aren't strictly watching the full Let's Play. I feel like they're maybe turning it on in the background. And I think that that's another point, is that a lot of media that we consume these days is almost kind of like background noise to what we do in our daily lives. I feel like very rarely do you see people completely lock in to a piece of media and just it'll totally absorb their attention. I feel like you don't see that a lot. And I think that that's a tragedy. They spend a lot of time on these pieces of art, even if it's an 11-minute TV show. If it's animated, it takes a lot of time for the animators. Even if it's a little sitcom, I mean, there's a lot of team members and a lot of work that went into it. But like, it's a crying shame. It's a crying shame that we can't, as a society, just focus on one piece of media while we're watching it. My point that I was trying to get at was that Instagram Reels is the natural evolution of basically the brain rot epidemic, as you know, demonstrated by the fact that it's popular right now and all the videos are 10 seconds long. But I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing if the 10-second long videos are quality. But the problem is, it is very rare that you find a good quality 15-second Instagram reel. They're very far in between. Like, whenever I am on Instagram Reels, there's a big problem, and that problem is simply the fact that you have to scroll through four reels of like the most vile things you've ever seen to get to a gem. But like, you get to that gem and it's a good gem, but then you're right back to like EFN. That's the thing with Instagram Reels. It's like the image of, you know, the guy mining for diamonds. That's kind of Instagram Reels, except the diamonds are something to fuel your brain rot addiction. The Instagram Reels, I don't hate them, but we need to go back to watching good quality films. One of those movies is not Forrest Gump. I will say, I'm not a big Forrest Gump guy. It's okay. Forrest Gump is okay. Back to the Future is the better Robert Zemeckis movie in every way. It's more timeless. It's cooler. Forrest Gump is just, it's like Northern Lion said it best. He said it, you know, if you hate the Avengers but you like Forrest Gump, you're kind of a hypocrite because, you know, they're very similar. They're very like-minded movies. You know, one, you get your kicks from watching all the funny superheroes get on the screen, and then you get your kicks in Forrest Gump from watching all the former presidents that happened. So they're very similar in that way. Very similar. No, your current events. I just got that stuck in my head now. What y'all know about Know Your Cuts of Meat? What a great bit. Know Your Cuts of Meat is a classic bit. Speaking of entertaining, like, the late night show. The late night shows are cooked, dude. I think just every form of media that used to be consumed, like, wholeheartedly by people is just gone. There's no late night, there's no like CNN, there's no Fox News. The only person that I know that watches CNN or Fox News is my grandpa. And I think that just speaks to how hard they've fallen out. And I think that we just need to, as a society, bring back... No, I'm not going to say that. We should not bring back late night. Because, like, Conan's podcast is good enough. Conan Needs a Friend is good enough for a substitute for late night. Because the only reason that people would watch late night is just for the guests. Let's be honest. Nobody's watching late night for what they want to hear Jimmy Kimmel say in his opening monologue for the recent event that happened. Unless you really like him. But I don't know anybody that really likes Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know anybody whose favorite late night host is either the Jimmys, either Kimmel or Fallon. It's always Conan and it's always Letterman. Or Carson if you're an unk. It's Carson if you're an unk. Letterman if you're like slightly younger. And then Conan for the youngins. But I didn't get to experience any of them because by the time that I actually was interested in late night, it was just Jimmy Kimmel. So, very unfortunate for me. So, yeah. Oh, I remember this troll. You have to like dodge this. You have to go like that. There you go. If you step on that brown block, it activates a snake block. A snake block that eats the entire like goal, and then you just die. And then you can't do anything about it. Which is classic Panga, but I've already played that level and I don't want to go through playing it again. So maybe I'll splice in what happens if you touch that with a little like funny cat going like maybe I'll do that. But I don't think we need to see that.